Igniting community. Learn, share, and grow. Like and subscribe below.
Hi everybody, my name is Danielle. I am from Maple Mindset and I am here to talk to you about anxiety. I am very passionate about talking about anxiety and mental health in general, as I live with a general anxiety disorder. Outside of my anxiety disorder, I am also a wife, a mom, a yogi, a nurse, and I'm a lover of coffee and donuts. Amongst all of these roles, though, I have learned to think about my anxiety as my co-pilot, and we are managing all of these roles together. In order to function together, though, I've had to learn more about anxiety, what it is, and more specifically, how it affects me. So, real talk for a minute. Anxiety is common. Everybody's probably felt anxiety at some point in your life, and if you haven't, I'm sure you're gonna. It is a biological function that our body needs in order to keep us safe and prepared. This is usually when we go into that fight or flight response. Although it's important to know that not everyone's going to have the same experience with anxiety or even at the same levels. This is when we now can get into the different levels and types of anxiety disorders. I read once that anxiety was like a smoke alarm. So we have smoke alarms to protect us from fires, the same way that we have anxiety in place to protect us from life dangers. The issue becomes when your smoke alarm is too sensitive. You're in the kitchen, you're cooking a piece of toast, you forget about it, and it starts smoking. Now it's going off all the time. You're not in any real danger, but it's going off and it's annoying. This is the same thing with anxiety. So when anxiety is functioning normally like a smoke alarm, it is helpful and it's adaptive. But when it's too sensitive, it can be scary and quite exhausting. Living in that fight or flight response is quite draining on the body. At the end of the day, as much as I would love to not experience anxiety on the level that I do, it is important that I maintain this system in my body. So I'm not going to ever fully eliminate it. But what I need to learn to do is to regulate it and maintain it so that I can function properly and I'm not spiking my system with this cortisol over, a piece of toast. So I've mentioned the fight or flight a couple times, and I'm just thought maybe I'd review what that was for some of those who maybe have never heard it before or don't really know the details. So this is a part of your sympathetic nervous system. It is a natural alarm. It helps your body get ready for that fight. It pushes resources to the parts of your body that really need it, like your brain and your trunk organs. But what your body can feel are things like increased heart rate, increased respiratory rate. You can get sweaty palms when you're nervous about making videos. You can get a tight chest. You can fluctuate between that hot and cold. I don't know what I need. I'm kind of sweaty, but I want a blanket. Tingling in your limbs, your arms, your legs, maybe some blurred vision, dizzy, lightheaded. All of these are to prepare your body so that you're ready to fight. But anxiety doesn't just affect your body, it also affects your thoughts and the way you behave. So an example of this would be a thought of, what if I forget exactly what I'm going to talk about in this video? My body now has sweaty palms, my heart is racing, and my stomach is turning. The behavior that I'm now going to is, what excuse could I give Lynn to get out of this video so that I can stop feeling this way and stop thinking these things? This is my anxiety being too sensitive. I'm not being chased by a bear. I'm not in any danger. My body doesn't know that though. It doesn't know that I'm just nervous. It doesn't have a complex system to be able to decipher. So this is when I start feeling all this anxiety all the time. So now, how do I regulate my anxiety so that I can control it a little bit more? When we regulate the coping mechanisms we turn to are going to be different for everybody. So for what works for me may not work for you or your friend or family member, but there are so many out there to consider. So a few of them that I like are talk therapy, yoga, or any sort of movement, especially outside, and sleep. Those are my top 3. When I sleep really well, I can function better. But coping mechanisms can range from therapy, medications, good sleep, healthy diets, getting out for exercise. There's so many ranges. You can go naturopath and things like that. But finally, I just wanted to touch on how to recognize when it's time to get help, because I think that can be the hardest to decipher, is like, how is this different from just regular stresses we feel in life? What came to mind were intense, excessive, persistent worry and fear over your daily activities. Do you feel that these worries and fears interfere with you being able to perform your daily activities? That's another issue. And it can be hard to control or overcome the intense and sudden feelings. So you're having a really hard time once this thought spikes and your heart's racing. It can be really hard to talk yourself out of it. At the end of the day, if you're feeling like these things are happening more and more often all throughout your day, it never hurts to talk to somebody. So a good place to start is with your family doctor. They can talk to you about different types of coping mechanisms that are offered in your community. They can talk about medications. They can talk about even combining a bunch of different things. But there are also a lot of good resources online that you could read about. If you check out my website at maplemindset.ca, hopefully we'll link it down in the bio there. I also have local resources for anxiety and mental health that you could check out that might even just help give you some more information. Ultimately, my goal is to raise awareness around anxiety. I want to break down barriers that people are having for treatment by just talking about my experience. And I want to encourage vulnerability, even though it's really hard. It's so important to let yourself be open to the process in order to grow and reconnect with yourself. So at the end of the day, I hope that my anxiety videos can help you feel less alone in your journey while I share my own journey about anxiety. If you have any questions or you want to talk more, I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments below and in the Facebook community group. So until next time, thank you so much for checking me out, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.